Star Wars Hunters is a 4v4 hero shooter that released recently on the App Store and Google Play. And unlike certain other mobile games, it actually runs pretty well. As a Star Wars fan, I was prepared for this game to be another predatory base builder or another RPG or another card game that just sucks the money out of your wallet. So when I saw it was a hero shooter and a non-pay-to-win hero shooter, at that, I was actually genuinely surprised. So, what is this game? It is a 4v4 hero shooter. Open your listening ears. With several different modes such as Control, Call of Duty Hardpoint, and Team Deathmatch. If you played any multiplayer shooter ever, it's basically the same game. How do you progress in this game? You progress by winning or losing games to earn trophies. These trophies are similar to a mechanic in T3 Arena. If you haven't played that mobile game, just know that every set amount of trophies you earn a character. And yeah, that's basically the main gameplay loop for the majority of the game. There's also a ton of cosmetics for you to earn, and there are events, and there is ranked. So if you're a little sweaty boy, little sweaty girl, little sweaty individual, little gremlin who likes to play ranked, there you go. All right, now I'll go over the pros and cons of this game. This one was actually where I started writing the script. Because I feel strongly about certain games, but this game feels very bare bones. But let me express the pros. The first pro is the graphics evoke the theme of the Clone Wars and Rebels series and allow the game to run very well. They're very reminiscent of my favorite shows, and I like that. And they run well even on Android, which is something I can't say for certain other mobile games. I like how the characters are brand new instead of just ripping the same Skywalker saga characters like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Anakin, Palpatine, Rey, Ahsoka. Those characters are cool, and I would like to see cosmetics for those characters, like maybe down the line, maybe legendary cosmetics that make the characters sort of look like them or sort of cosplay them, adding Kylo Ren's lightsaber or Darth Maul's lightsaber. Hot take, I think Kylo Ren's lightsaber is cooler than Darth Maul's lightsaber. Fight me on that. But I'm glad that they actually went to the trouble of making new characters, because they could have just put Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader in here and called it a day. But they didn't. Combat feels impactful and rewarding and scratches the same itch in my brain as Overwatch. The combat is actually pretty satisfying. It actually feels like what you do has meaning. Each player has a ton of agency and can do a lot, even on their own, since it's a 4v4 shooter. And yeah, it just feels it feels rewarding to play. Not like a bunch of other mobile games where it just feels like what you do has you're just going down a set path. All characters can be earned through free to play. Every character can be earned by just playing the game, although the grind is a little bit long for some of the later characters, and I'll get to that later. Every character is viable and fun for the most part. Pretty much every single character, I can see why you'd want to play them. There hasn't been a single character in this game where I'd be like, why would you want to play them? Although some characters are a little bit stronger than others, obviously. None of the characters feel overbearing, with the exception of Sentinel. Sentinel is an S-tier must-pick character right now, currently, but aside from him, every single character is viable to some extent, which is very cool. And the cons. These are the reasons why you might not enjoy the game. These are the issues that I personally have had with the game. First, earning characters takes longer down the line. Once you've unlocked Skora, the characters take unreasonably long to unlock. I've just recently unlocked J3DI, or I guess I'll just call him Jedi. The character grind become just unreasonably long, in my opinion. I also think you should be able to choose which character you redeem instead of being forced to redeem a certain character. Like, wouldn't have unlocked Skora. I probably would have unlocked J3DI first if I could have, because he has a lightsaber. And then I would have unlocked all the other characters. But I think you should be able to, I think grinding to get a character that you don't even know what they do, you don't even care about, it's not really enough of an incentive. Second issue I've had is stiff controller support. Characters follow the direction of the joystick instead of straight left and right. When you're using touch controls and you spin in a circle, it looks pretty smooth. But when you use a controller for some reason, I'm not sure whether it's like on a certain axis, but it feels like the characters can only stick to a certain axis, and it lowers the frame rate of them like spinning. So like if you make a sharp turn, it looks kind of cheap, and they don't strafe like in other games like in Fortnite. I hate to bring up Fortnite because people are going to say, oh, you think everything should be like Fortnite? No, but I do like how in Fortnite you strafe instead of just like walking to the left, because that kind of looks really unnatural. But in this game, you don't strafe, you just move left and right, and it looks unnatural, in my opinion. So the movement is slow, and if it weren't for the small map sizes, it would take forever to get anywhere. This game is lucky that the maps are so small because a lot of characters take forever to just move anywhere, and that kind of draws me personally toward the characters like Skora with movement abilities. I like using her because she can just pop some monster energy and go flying across the map. The lack of quick melee, similar to Overwatch. I don't want people to think, hey, he thinks it should just be like Overwatch because he's an Overwatch channel. No. I just think that you should be able to finish your kills even if you don't have any bullets left in your gun. And the obvious bots. The animations and the giant character models kind of make it very obvious when you're fighting a bot. It's not that big of a problem. It kind of ruins the immersion when you see your Grox on the other side of the map just standing there and staring at the wall. So yeah, the bots are very, very noticeable. So how would I make this game better? First, I'd add a universal sprint option to every character who doesn't have a movement ability. That's not including like Amara Vex's grapple. I would still give her a sprint. I feel like characters should be able to move even if it's on a cooldown, or even if it's the sprint is just making you move a little bit faster. I feel like that would make the game feel a little bit more dynamic. I would also tweak the animations to not feel as cheap. Seeing characters switch animations in a single frame breaks immersion. So like when you see them like moving left to right, that feels incredibly cheap. When your characters are switching directions, I would have them strafe, and if they're walking backwards, I wouldn't have them like face the camera. I would just have them like walk backwards. I feel like having, again, a similar movement system to Fortnite would make the game feel a little bit better. I would also add a quick melee feature. I already told you all about that. Now, here's a personal nitpick. 2 personal nitpicks. These are not really important at all, but these are just personal things I would like to see. Change Zayna's weapon sound effects to mimic Han Solo's weapon sound effects, or at the very least, give me an option to give her weapon sound effects, one similar to Han Solo. For reference, this is Zayna's weapon sound effect, and this is Han Solo's weapon sound effect. It's very weird that she has the same model weapon and yet it makes a different noise. To me, that might not affect any of you. The final one is one that isn't really a suggestion, but something I would like to say. To see, add a first person mode, just for fun. This is not important, this should not take priority. I totally understand if the devs didn't want to do it, seeing as being first person in this game would put you at a disadvantage, but I think it would be fun to be able to go into third person in casual. But I understand if they don't want to do it because they don't want to add a mode that nobody's going to use because it will put them at a disadvantage. So I understand if they didn't, and they probably won't, but it would be cool to see. I kind of just want Battlefront. If you can't tell, I kind of just want Battlefront 3. This game's not going to be that, but a boy can dream. So that's my review of Star Wars Hunters. Overall, I'd have to give the game a 6.1 out of 10. The foundation is there, and it's fun. I've spent quite a few hours on this game. I just recently unlocked J3DI, and I'm continuing to play the game. But I feel like it feels a little cheap, and I just want this game to be the best game it could be. Yeah, I just hope that the devs it feels rough around the edges, but it's good. And it's fun. I would also make it to, one last suggestion. I would also make it to the cosmetics and the battle passes and all in your face once you start the game. This game has a bright future if they don't fuck it up. If they polish it, this is going to be a pretty fun game. And also, obviously, a big one, I feel like, for a lot of people. Add this game to other consoles. Bring it to PS4, bring it to Xbox, bring it to PS5, bring it to Xbox Series, bring it to PC, bring it to everything, because this game can be run on anything. There's no reason why it shouldn't be on those consoles. And if that gives them an advantage, we can just split up the pools into like Xbox and PS4 pools, and then we keep the mobile and Switch pools separate. Or I think the Switch players could actually be in the Xbox pools because the game just runs that well. Even if the game developers just happen across this video and just added one tiny suggestion from my list, that will make the game feel a whole lot better, in my opinion. Yeah, that's all I have to say. See ya. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, almost forgot to tell ya. Don't you notice